seva, please remain quiet. Thank you very much. My name is Jaisacinandana. Thank you all for coming. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Dhanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashnataya Deshatarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So as you can see, maybe those of you that are like not engaged in flower seva, come closer because there's too much noise back there. Hare Krishna, Bhakti Rasa, Haribol. Okay. Thank you very much. I saw a video of all the devotees yesterday doing seva. It was really nice. They're all kind of come together and making beautiful items for the Lord. So welcome to our annual Deity Welcoming Festival. It's in English that basically means serving the Lord's deity form. And we'll go through several select verses. There's a lot to say about this, but there's limitation in time. So I'll be speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam and also from Sri Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu and Priti Sandarbha. So I don't think I have to convince most of us here about deity service because we already do it at home, most of us. Not everybody, but in one form or another we do it. It might not be a statue, it might be a photo, it might be a drawing, and that's fine. What I hope to do is something a little different, is to subtly shift how we understand what is actually happening when we stand in front of the deity. How we can understand what's actually happening when we stand in front of the deity. Butterfly has not tasted the nectar. That would be something that how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates would accompany. So let me begin not with a definition, but with a question. When we stand before the deity in the morning, at our homes or at the temple, when you offer a flower or a lamp, what exactly is happening? What are we doing? And for whom? Most of us, those that are newcomers, welcome, and those that are experienced devotees, we treat the deity as a Hare Krishna. It's really hard to speak with devotees talking. Please. Mataji and Prabhuji are kind of doing the talking and they need to just ask Mataji to stop talking, please. Thank you. I never say that, but it's difficult right now. So we silently treat the deity as a sacred recipient. Very holy, very pure, worthy of our best efforts, but essentially passive. We're the active party. We bring the flowers. We do the seeing. We offer the prayer. The deity is, in our quiet assumption, simply receives. Today's discussion or presentation is going to try to overturn that gently, that assumption that we have. Not by criticizing sincerity of devotees, because that sincerity is essentially what we offer. It's very precious. By showing that what our acharyas actually describe as something very different. The active party is not the devotee. The active party is Lord Krishna, Lord Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We're not approaching a sacred object, we're being approached by a self-luminous personality who has graciously accepted a form we can serve. And I'll try to build on this over several verses. Here will be kind of like the brief outline of what we'll discuss today. Several verses. I don't want to make it a Bhagavatam class, but 3 verses. Each one answers a different question, and it actually is the foundation of Sri Murti Seva, deity service. The first verse is from 11th canto of Bhagavatam, and it is in Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna's own words, how he should be worshipped in his deity form. It answers what kind of item is the deity. Is it a representation? Is it an idol? Is it a symbol or something else? The second verse is from Sri Rupa Goswami. He answers, how is the deity perceived? If the Lord is transcendental and our senses are material, how can any genuine contact occur? It's like mixing oil and water. No matter how much you shake it, it's going to separate. The third verse is from Sri Jiva Goswami's Priti Sandarbha. So we're kind of doing sampling of different shastras. And it answers the most important question: why does any of this matter? What is the purpose of human life? How does deity worship or seva relate to that purpose? So here's our first verse. And for the sake of time, because it's 11:40, I'll speak it in English. So it's 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which has 12 cantos. 11th canto contains what's called Uddhav Gita, where Lord Krishna speaks to his relative Sri Uddhav. And this is very subtle. This chapter 27th is about how to do deity seva, how to do deity worship. And listen to what he says. This is Lord Krishna speaking to Uddhav, the greatest yogi, speaking to Lord Krishna. He says, my devotee should lovingly decorate me with cloth, sacred thread, ornaments, leaves, garlands, fragrant oil, and sandalwood paste as is suitable. I want you to notice something very extraordinary in this verse. And Sri Jiva Goswami, in his commentary to this verse, captures it with his deliberate precision. He says, Krishna does not say, decorate my statue. He doesn't say, decorate my symbol. He doesn't say, decorate my idol, decorate my representation. He does not say, decorate that image that reminds you of me. He says, me, decorate me. And he pairs this with saprema, with love, not with just ritual, not with the correct mantras, not with such and such pure items, with love. The way you would actually decorate someone you love who is present in front of you. So Sri Jiva Goswami highlights these 2 words, mam iti saprameta cha. The words me and with love. His point is that these are not casual words stated by Sri Krishna. Krishna is self-identifying with the deity. He's saying, when you dress the deity, you're dressing me. When you do it with love, that love reaches me. The deity is not a stand-in, an actor that comes on the scene when the real actor is taking a relaxing break in his trailer. The deity is the Lord himself saying, me. Now I'm going to introduce a concept. So before I do that, let me transition. This single verse is a very important point. It's saying the deity is not an idol, the deity is not a symbol, the deity is not a representation. The deity is the Lord Himself in this form by His own choice, identifying Himself with it in the first person I. Everything that I'll speak about builds on this foundation. The next two slides, this one and the subsequent, will give some proper Sanskrit name for what is happening here. And Sri Jiva Goswami states this in multiple portions of his commentaries of Bhakti-Rasamrita Sindhu, this concept of avirbhav. Avirbhav. So our tradition has a very precise Sanskrit name for what is happening when Krishna says, decorate me, with reference to the deity. This is called avirbhav. Avirbhav is built from two words, avi, meaning manifest, become visible, and bhav, in this case, meaning becoming, come to be. So together, avirbhav means manifestation, but in a very specific manner. It is the act by which something, listen to this carefully, it is the act by which something that already exists in itself becomes visible. It's the act by which something which already exists in itself becomes visible. Accessible comes forth where it can be perceived and engaged by us. It's not the creation of something new. It is becoming visible of something that already exists, becoming manifest. There are many examples of this in the material world. I picked two. A flower blooms. This is the avirbhav of the plant's flowering nature. It's a manifestation, visibility. The flower wasn't created by the aspect of blooming. The plant already in its nature contained that capacity of flowering. The blooming makes that capacity visible. Another example, sunrise. We say the sun rises, but the sun didn't come into being at sunrise. The sun existed continuously all night long on the other side of our location. What happened at sunrise was the sun became visible from our perspective. The sun's avirbhav was it became visible, not that it became existent. Now, when we apply this to the deity, when our tradition says that Sri Murti, the deity is Bhagwan's avirbhav, what it means is the Lord Krishna, who eternally exists in his full form, Sarup, in Vaikuntha, in Vraj, in his Leela, in his pastimes, has become visible or manifest. He has become accessible to our senses in the form of a deity. The deity is not the Lord pretending to be this form. The deity is not a symbol that refers to the Lord who's elsewhere. Deity is the Lord Himself in a form that He has accepted so that He may be served and loved by His devotees. This is what Krishna was saying to Uddhav when he said, decorate me with prem. The Lord whose eternal Sarup is in Golok, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, etc. That Lord is the same Lord who we are dressing in our altar daily or at our home daily. The same purpose manifest here in our respective homes for a specific purpose. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because sometimes people from different tradition can look at them and say they're idols. They're idols. And that's why sometimes in conflicts, some party may come from a different country and quote-unquote break the idols. So if we understand the concept of avirbhav, how the Lord, who's eternally existing, is manifesting for the purpose of being served in this form, then we will understand the difference. The symbolic view is even common amongst experienced devotees. It goes something like this in our mind. The Lord is transcendent and infinite, meaning transcendent beyond this material world, and infinite. He cannot really be present in this finite physical form. So for the deity or the murti is kind of a mental checkbox, a reminder, a visual aid for us to contemplate. It's a device to focus our mind, something that points beyond itself to where the Lord actually really exists. It is sacred. The deity is sacred because of what it points to, not because of what it is. Common situations in the material world. A country has a flag. The flag refers to the nation. A married couple, they wear a ring. Ring refers to the marriage. But the flag is not the nation. The ring is not the marriage. They're valuable because, why is a flag valuable? Why is a ring valuable? Because it brings our attention to something that genuinely really exists. The country, the marriage, etc. Are you all following me, or is this... Okay. So if there's a right way to understand the deity, then Sri Murti Seva would be kind of like, in that kind of representation, a contemplative exercise. The devotee would be relating to a symbol while their mind raced past the symbol to the Lord, who by speculation is somewhere else. But the avirbhav statement does not support this. It says, no, this is not what is happening. The deity does not point to Lord Krishna somewhere else. The deity is Lord Krishna, Lord Mahaprabhu, manifest here in his form by his choice. He's accepted to be present in this form for his devotees. The form is him. This is why Krishna uses the word mam. He's not saying decorate that thing, that idol that represents me. He says decorate me. And he's leaving the planet. There's nothing more real than like Lord Krishna is hiding somewhere behind the deity, waiting somewhere else for us to graduate past this form. The form is him. And this is very important in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It kind of contradicts what is commonly called idol worship. Idol worship means treating a material object as if it were divine when it's not. Our tradition holds something very different. The deity is the Lord because the Lord, by his choice, has incomprehensible potency, achinta shakti. He is accepted to be present in this form. The presence is not the devotee's projection. The presence is Lord Krishna's gift, sustained for us as long as we honor that form. So once we grasp that the deity is not symbol, we'll notice that certain things are pastimes in our tradition, the Sri Vaishnava tradition, Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, that seem like almost like exaggeration, like a pious exaggeration, actually makes sense. They're a natural consequence of what avirbhav is speaking about and what Lord Krishna is telling Uddhav when he says, decorate me. If the deity were just a symbolic representation, then any responsiveness from the deity would by default be a projection of my mind or my imagination. Are you following? But the deity is actually Lord Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, present. Then the deity can, when the Lord chooses, remember this, when the Lord chooses, He can act, He can speak, He can intervene, and He can reciprocate. Our tradition has these instances. I'll just give you 3. They're innumerable. First, there's Madhavendra Puri, his Gopal deity. So the deity appears to Madhavendra Puri in a dream and tells him that he has been buried in some place, forest, and instructs him where to find him, and asks for him to please go get some sandalwood paste because he's suffering from heat. So he asks Madhavendra Puri to walk many miles to bring the proper offerings. This is not a passive recipient of our attention. This is the Lord in His deity form. If He was a symbol, why would He say any of those things? It would make no sense. Another example, Shakshi Gopal, very famous example. He's called the witness. Gopal, the witness deity. So I won't go into the story, 2 Brahmins had a kind of an agreement they made in front of this particular deity, Gopal deity, in Vrindavan. And then one of the parties later kind of denied making this agreement. So the other devotee said, "My dear Lord, Gopal, please, you were there." So what does the deity do? The deity himself physically walks from Vrindavan to the old Cuttack, which is a kind of a neighboring city to Bhubaneswar, Orissa. He walks all that way, and then he gives testimony in a court run by humans regarding what has been promised in his presence. So how is that deity symbolic? He is Bhagwan himself. He is Lord himself. We can't just dismiss it as a metaphor. The tradition holds it as a historical fact. And the deity exists. Closer to our own time, we have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's encounters with Sri Jagannath. In Puri, Sri Mahaprabhu, Lord Mahaprabhu, faints at the first sight of Lord Jagannath. He embraces the chariot, the rath of Lord Jagannath, and he starts crying. He sits for hours absorbed in the deity's face. This is not the response to somebody meeting a symbol. This is somebody meeting someone who he really loves. We may not have, we're not Madhavendra Puri with etc., etc. We're not Mahaprabhu, but we all like prasadam, right? Food items that have been offered to the Lord, at least some of you. Symbolically, it looks like food offered to a statue that's not being received, it's just offered. And we just kind of participate in that act of the offering. But the Lord is actually receiving, Shri Nitai Sacinandana ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai. But the Lord is actually receiving what is offered. That's what avirbhav means. The Lord takes the food, and the food becomes prasad. Literally, prasad means grace, favor, kindness. In the olden days, it was very common in India that people would name the children, middle name would be prasad, like Bhaktisanta Maharaj, Bimla Prasad. So the food now carries Lord Krishna's potency. This is why, otherwise, why would our tradition treat prasad with such reverence? Not letting it fall to the ground, distributing it with care, honoring even very small amounts. I saw Dhanvir Goswami Maharaj at our home. You all know him, or some of you know him, a very elevated sannyasi. He has a neurological disorder where he can't have full control of his body. Mind is sharp. And we had a program at our home, and devotees were honoring prasadam. And Maharaj takes very little prasadam. He took like the amount of prasadam that would fit on your palm. That was his dinner. And I was sitting next to Maharaj, and I saw like some because hand is shaking, some like sand-like particles fell on his outer garment. And I was sitting there next to him, and I saw him for the next 5 minutes pick each sand-like prasadam, pick it up, put it in his hand, and when he finished doing that, he looked at it, and then he took. That's called honoring prasadam, not called eating prasadam. Because no way that's going to fill somebody's tummy. But, why does our tradition treat prasadam with such reverence? It's not because it was placed near some sacred statue. It's because Lord Krishna himself actually received it, touched it, made it his own, and gave it back to us. All of these indicate that the deity, the murti, is responsive. The testifying deity, Shakshi Gopal, Mahaprabhu's love, the potency of prasadam makes sense. Makes sense only if we accept that Lord is manifest in his deity form. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. They're the living tradition of what Lord Krishna said to Uddhav, that this is me, decorate me. Here's our second verse, and it's the most important to really understand what Srimurti Seva is. It's from Sri Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He starts with Ataha. Ataha, therefore. Now, Sri Rupa Goswami uses that terminology repeatedly. Whenever he says therefore, it means it's concluding a prior discussion. Ataha, therefore. This verse, the verse just before this was this famous verse called Nam Chintamani Krishna's. That Krishna's name is identical with Krishna himself. From that premise, this verse is drawing a conclusion. It's saying because the name is identical with Krishna, therefore it cannot be grasped by material senses, because Krishna is not material. So if we look at this verse, it has three main lines, Na bhavat graham indriya. Krishna is not grasped. We cannot get attacked. We cannot grab Krishna by our senses under no circumstances, because he's not material. Sevanmukhi hi jivada. But when the tongue and other senses are engaged in his service, then swayam eva spurti adaha. Then he, Krishna in his name, as in reference to the preceding verse, in his form, his qualities, and his pastimes, manifests himself of his own accord. Adaha means that, and that's referring to the Sri Krishna Namadi. Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes. So when we say that reality manifests itself, what we mean is Krishna himself is the name. He is the form, the deity. He is his qualities. He is his lila and pastimes. He reveals himself. He's not some impersonal, mystical reality. He is a person, choosing to make himself perceivable to his devotee. So in the next several slides, I'm going to go over each of these one lines. So the first movement in the verse is Na bhavet graham indriya. The name, form, qualities, pastimes of Krishna cannot be grasped by our senses. This is a place where most of us in our daily practice, or some of us, and I'm one of them, can kind of go astray. We can kind of get off the direction. We tend to think of deity as something we must look at, as though Krishna's beauty is a property that our eyes are tasked with detecting. The way our eyes detect the face of a friend walking by, or the way we detect a face in a photograph or a child running in the park. We then evaluate our darshan, our vision, by how well our eyes performed in the task. Was I attentive? Did I really see him? Was my mind focused, right? Devotees oftentimes will ask themselves these questions. But this verse is telling us that nothing of that kind is happening. The eye does not detect Krishna. The eye cannot detect Krishna ever under any circumstance. Grahya means to be grasped or seized. And Krishna cannot be seized by any sense organ. It's like when Duryodhana wanted to, tie up Krishna and put him in jail. Krishna just left and showed him the Virat Rupa form. It's like, okay, go ahead and try to tie this form up right now. So what happens in genuine darshan of the deity? The eye is not the perceiver. The eye is a site of revelation. It receives. If the conditions are right and Shri Krishna, Lord Krishna, chooses to manifest himself, then we don't grab him. We're graced. Same thing with chanting the holy name. Same thing with the Leela. Same thing with the form. Same thing with his qualities. It's a shift from understanding the deity. And Sri Rupa Goswami very carefully says this, that this transcendental being, Krishna, his name, his form, his qualities, cannot be received through the material senses. So what are the conditions that allow him to be received? I'm going to spend a fair amount of time on this slide because this is a word that many of you know, Sevan Mukha. The phrase is turn towards service, and it can sound kind of vague and poetic. What does that mean? Turn towards service. I want to give a concrete statements based on Sri Jiva Goswami's commentary on this verse. So it's a compound word. It means seva, which means service. But in a very specific sense, it means specific acts, chanting Krishna's name, hearing his glories, remembering him, offering things to him, bowing down for him, addressing him directly, attending the deity. These are practices of bhakti that Prahlad Maharaj enumerates to his father, Hiranyakashipu, in Canto 7. So, seva mukha. So, unmukha means facing toward. But the practical sense, what does that mean, facing toward? It means being engaged in. So, seva mukha literally means senses are actively engaged in very specific acts of love. So Sri Jiva Goswami actually explains it in detail in his commentary. He says, seva mukha bhagavad sarup tan nam granaya pravita iti artaha. It means, sevan mukha means engaged in the act of receiving Bhagwan's own form and name. Notice the word, engaged in the act of receiving Bhagwan's form and name. Receiving. The senses aren't engaged for their own consumption, they're engaged for receiving Bhagwan, his name, his form, his pastimes, his qualities. But didn't we just say that Bhagwan can't be grasped by the senses? And Sri Jiva Goswami says, na bhaved graham indriya. So this is not a contradiction. This verse denies that kind of grasping, the senses reaching to consume for its own enjoyment. Sri Jiva Goswami is saying a completely different aspect. He says, receiving Bhagwan as the one being served. The senses are no longer trying to consume, they're engaged in an offering. They receive what they could not have gained by force. So Sri Jiva Goswami gives an example in his commentary of two examples in our literature of this doctrine of receiving and not grasping. Sevan Mukhi. First is Bharat Maharaj. Most of us, I think, have heard the Bharat Maharaj pastime. He's the great king who is a great devotee but he had happened to become attached to a fawn, a baby deer, at the time of his physical death. And because that was what his absorption was in at the time of his death, he came back in the next life as a deer. The Bhagavatam tells us that the moment in the subsequent life when he left his body as a deer, he loudly chanted, Narayana Hari Nama. Salutations to Sri Narayan. How is it that even in the form of a deer, he proclaimed, he uttered, have you ever seen a deer speaking in human language? Bharat was in the body of an animal, not a human being. By every external measure, he should have no access to spiritual perception. No, he doesn't have a human tongue to articulate the name. He doesn't have a human mind capable of such intention. And yet the name manifested from him at the moment of death. Why? How? Because his soul was Sevan Mukha. The animal body did not obstruct what the soul's orientation made possible. That's why Sri Jiva Goswami states that here. It's not something you do by your material senses, it's something you receive through the grace of Krishna, by a service attitude. Second example, Gajendra. We know the story. A great big elephant, very powerful, with a huge retinue of followers and queens, etc. He's trapped by a crocodile in a lake. So it's a crocodile's home. Crocodile stronger, elephant stronger in the land. And crocodile's got him in his jaws, his leg. And so on the verge of death, what does the Bhagavatam say? It says he chanted a prayer, a supreme prayer that he had learned in his previous birth, which basically is called the Gajendra Stuti and goes through many verses. But it opens with Om Namo Bhagavate Tasmai. Obeisances and salutations to the Supreme Lord. The prayer arose from the body of an elephant, but the body did not obstruct it. The prayer, the crocodile didn't obstruct it. The pain didn't obstruct it. The soul's orientation, Sevan Mukha, persevered across the transition between many lifetimes. Both examples make a point that the body's condition is not what determines whether Bhagavan manifests himself. The species doesn't. The circumstances don't. The external qualifications don't. Oh, we've been initiated for 50 years. No. What is determining factor is the soul. When whatever body, whatever circumstance it happens to be, is it turned towards Bhagavan in offering of loving actions and in receiving Bhagavan's grace. If a deer can be Sevan Mukha, if an elephant can be Sevan Mukha, then so can we. In whatever condition we may find ourselves. Today, tomorrow, rest of our lives. And if you've observed, you can see when devotees come towards the altar, the sanctum sanctorum, you can picture two devotees offering a flower to the Lord. Both raise their hands. Both place their flower at Lord Krishna's feet. Both bow their head. If we had a video camera, it would look the same. But the first individual might be composing the to-do list, We all have that, right? The flower is being offered, but the mind is not with Krishna. Krishna says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto, right? It's not with Krishna. The second other person, while offering, is thinking, may Krishna accept this small flower. May he be pleased. The mind of even that second person may not be brilliantly focused. The heart may not be flooded with bhav. But the specific wish behind that act is that may Lord Krishna be pleased. So therefore, that is sevanmukha. The first is not, even though physically engaging in a service, offering a flower. This is what sevanmukha, turn towards service, literally means. It's not a poetic posture, it's not some vague inner state of being. It is my tongue is chanting His name, my ear is hearing His glories. My hand is offering this flower, and the wish behind every one of these acts is to receive Him, to please Him. Now the third movement of this verse, here, if we look at it, are you all lost or? Okay. Third movement of this verse is Swayam eva sprita adaha. Once the senses are sevanmukha, once they're engaged in Bhagavan, Lord Krishna's service, with the wish that He may be pleased, then He manifests Himself of His own accord. If we unpack these words, the word spur means to shine forth, to manifest, to flash into visibility. Swayam means of itself, and eva means of its own accord and nothing else. So that is saying, adaha, what manifests? Sri Krishna, if the prior verse, Sri Krishna Namadi, Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastime. So adaha means Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna Himself, in His name, in His form, on the altar, in His qualities, in His pastime. This is a person, specifically Lord Krishna, choosing to reveal Himself to a devotee whose senses are sevanmukha, engaged in, may I please you, my dear Lord. So Krishna is Swayam Prakash, illuminating, self-illuminating, self-revealing. It connects to this word, spur. He does not need our senses to illuminate Him. He illuminates Himself in His own time and to His own depth to those whose senses are engaged in serving Him with a pleasing attitude. The active party is Lord Krishna. Our part is actually smaller than we think. We're not generating the contact. We're not generating.
Hare Krishna, everyone. This is currently a class. Prabhu is speaking. So if you have children that are making noise, we understand that's part of the experience of taking care of kids and being parents, but we ask that you take care of them properly outside right now. Thank you.
So we're not generating the contact through our strength of our concentration. Our part is to be engaged in specific acts of His service with the wish to please Him. His part is self-revelation. When, how deep, and to what extent are entirely up to Lord Krishna. And that sounds kind of, in a way, discomforting to some. But in a way, it's liberating. It means our Sri Murti Seva, our Shri Harinam, our remembrance of Krishna Leela does not depend on our subjective intensity. It depends on whether we're actually doing the acts for His service. When I'm chanting Kirtan, is it to please myself or is it to please Lord Krishna? When I'm dressing the deities or when I'm offering food items to the Lord, is it to say, hey, Lord, I created this wonderful pizza. I was kind of hungry for pizza, but hope you like it. Yeah. So our mentality, sevanmukha, is the key here. And we also come to understand that it's not on our time frame. It's His mercy, His choosing when to reveal Himself. Yes, our effort counts. and our intensity is not irrelevant. But ultimately, we know from the example of the gopis, the greatest devotees, it's Lord Krishna's pastime. So I thought of this when I was thinking about this topic, because the sacred nature of what we're going to be engaged in today. I thought, okay, some of these verses can sound theoretical, but what's practical? So I kind of put together some things that I thought of. You may come up with other things. Like when we stand before the deity, we might be silently asking ourselves, am I seeing him? Am I focused? Why isn't my mind on him? If you notice this, you notice something here. The subject in these questions is me, and the object is him. They presuppose that seeing is something I do. What we've just spoken, or discussed changes that. It replaces the two questions with two different ones, which are, am I doing this act of darshan for his pleasure? Am I aware that he's here receiving what I offer, which is my love? These are smaller but very answerable questions. And they're actually questions that, in common English, they're questions with which we have some agency over. We have some control over these kind of questions. So before lighting the lamp for Aarti, we should pause for one moment and just remember, he is here. He is here. Then light the lamp for him, offer the flower for him, chant the mantra for him. The doing is the same. The wish behind what we're doing is what we're adjusting. If Bharat Maharaj in a deer's body and Gajendra in an elephant's body could be Sevan Mukha, performing acts with the intent to please the Lord, we can certainly carry this. We have been gifted with a human body that has a tongue, has a human intelligence. We can certainly carry this small wish in our morning activities. That is our part. When he reveals himself tomorrow or after a decade or after 12 years or more, you want to say something? Can devotees kindly come a little bit, scoot a little bit forward? The person sitting on the bench is telling the first row to move forward. Haribol. Thank you, Ujjwal Prabhu. Nice to see you. So if an elephant body or deer body can carry this wish of, may I please you, Lord Krishna, the result is in your hands. I think the request was to move forward, not to have more conversation. We listen to the extent that something is important to us. In my profession as a cancer specialist, I usually speak to patients for about 60 minutes to 90 minutes. And are they listening? Heck yes. Because it's life or death in the physical form. So this should be important to us as devotees or sadhakas. Our part is simply doing it for his pleasure. His part is revealing it himself. So from these, this is kind of like a bridge slide. So what we've seen in this verse is Bhagavan is never grasped by our material senses. Secondly, he reveals himself by his choice to the senses that are engaged in service, whether it's vision, smell, etc. Third is doing our part for him. His part is what follows. So the natural question is, of all the many activities of bhakti, and how many does, those of you that have read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, how many activities does Sri Rupa Goswami describe? 64, yes. So 64, which ones are the most potent for receiving Lord Krishna? Where should a sincere individual focus their limited time and energy? Sri Rupa Goswami answers this question directly in the same eastern section of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He lifts up 5 practices amongst all the 64 and gives them a special status. He calls them the supreme panchanga, the supreme limbs. And one of them happens to be Deity Seva, Shrimurti Seva. So let us look at these 5. So here are those 5. So association with sadhus, congregational chanting of the name, hearing the Bhagavata, residence in Mathura, service of the feet of Sri Murti. You notice he says Sri Murti Angari Sevanam. So he's saying that these 5 items have, later on, he says that these 5 items have inconceivable and astonishing power. Inconceivable and astonishing power. What to speak of faith in these items if there's just a little relationship? Swa-alpa sambandha bhav janam. He repeats this in the Prema chapter as well. If there's just a little relationship with any of these items, Hare Krishna. Come, just you come. People who are devoid of any envy and such offenses can attain. It's the birthplace of bhav. Acharyas say, how is it that Lord Krishna, Bal Gopal, was attempted to be poisoned by Putana, but she attained destination in spiritual realm as a nursemaid? How is that? The Acharyas say it's example of Swa-alpa sambandha bhavajan. That she was doing deity seva, literally. She picked up the Lord, put the Lord in her lap, and fed him. And Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, by his loving grace, accepted that. So the Acharya said, look at her intent. Her intent was not Uttama Bhakti. Correct? Not Anukulyena. But Lord Krishna reciprocated with the Swa-alpa sambandha. This little connection gained that result. So they say in that chapter, how much greater all the virtuosities that can happen. So this is a promise of the Panchanga, that even a single one of these 5, when properly practiced, can grant bhava, the very fruit towards the entire path of bhakti that we're moving. This is an extraordinary statement. Out of 64, he's picked 5 and given a specific promise, not just an improvement, not just purification, not just qualification, but the actual bestowal of something rare. Any of these 5, if practiced sincerely, can be the birthplace of bhav, right? So the question naturally becomes, why these 5? Of all the 64 practices, why? He's got a very sharp, spiritual intellect. He didn't just pick it and gathered it and give an extraordinary promise. So they cluster around, if you look at them carefully, they cluster around something which is the avirbhav terminology that I used at the very beginning. These 5 are all sites where Lord Krishna makes himself accessible to us. The sadhu is a pure devotee, a person who's sheltered in Krishna, who carries Krishna's Shakti Swarupananda within him, whose heart is dedicated to Lord Krishna's service. and through whom Krishna's mercy and bhakti can be transmitted to others. We know that from the one pure devotee in our life, Srila Prabhupada, correct? The name is Krishna as sound. Shri Krishna Namati. Atha Chintamani Krishna. Right? Tells us the name is non-different from him. Krishna is accessible. The Bhagavatam is Krishna as a text. Grantha Rup Vigraha. Right? It's his textual body. Mathura is place, dham of his physical residence where he becomes accessible. And Shri Murti is a visible, approachable, dressable, feedable, touchable form. So the potency of our activity resides on that side of the object, not the subject. They're not 5 techniques we perform on Krishna. There are 5 places where Krishna is already actively present, and we participate in engaging in service to him there. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam is not memorizing slokas so I can impress everybody with how much I know. It's these words came out of the lips of Shukadev Goswami, let they manifest in my heart. Now what makes Shrimurti Seva unique amongst the 5? Consider what it uniquely offers. The Bhagavatam can be heard. The name can be chanted. Matravas, you can live. But Shrimurti, once installed, the deity, becomes a daily presence in our home. Can be looked at. And he looks back. Can be bathed. Can be dressed. Can be fed. Can be addressed by name. Can be sung. Can be put to rest. It is a limb that allows the entire repertoire of personal loving service to come into operation. Just one activity. Where the other activities may activate 1 or 2 senses, Shrimurti engages every single devotional sense. So the act of worship is called archana. It's something you do with the external body. But Srila Bhaktisanta Saraswati Maharaj in his Anubhashya separates something that we do external versus something that we do internal. And Shrimurti Seva is something you do internal. So why does any of this matter? I'm running late. We've seen what the deity is, how the deity is perceived, why Shrimurti Seva holds a sacred place amongst the 5 supreme practices. One question remains: why does all this matter? What is its importance? What's the purpose of human life that Shrimurti Seva, Shri Nam Sankirtan, Shri Bhagavat, Shri Dham, what is it serving? So our third and final verse from Shri Jiva Goswami's Priti Sandarbha answers this question with an extraordinary economy of words. It's the very first Anuched, the very first section. It's the seed verse from which the entire Priti Sandarbha, which is the culmination of Shri Rupa Goswami's Sandarbha commentary, extends. The verse begins, Purusha Prayojantat Tvat Sukha Praptir Dukha. The purpose of human, listen to this carefully. You will all agree with this. Whether you believe in Lord Krishna or God or not, whether you believe in spiritual life or not, you will believe in this statement. Shri Jiva Goswami is a realist. He doesn't have his head in some clouds. He says the purpose of human life is to begin with the attainment of happiness and elimination of suffering. Does anybody not agree with that? How many of you don't agree the purpose of human life is to achieve happiness and eliminate suffering? Really? How many of you believe that? How many of you live like that? Every one of you who haven't even raised your hand, you live that. Everyone. I'll show it. It says, Twat, for that moment, at least this much, he's saying, at least this much, agree with me on this. It's not his final claim, but it's where he starts. The theist or the atheist, the rich or the poor, the young or the old, the learned or the unlearned, the devotee or the worldly person, every conscious being seeks happiness and seeks to avoid suffering. Whatever any one of us has done or does is ultimately either explicitly or subtly driven by these two motivations, no matter what. He's not asserting some sectarian claim that you have to believe in Sri Krishna or Vaishnavism, etc. He's establishing a common ground. He's very careful. Now the verse tilts. He says, Shri Bhagavat Prithu, but in Priti for Bhagwan, notice the word thu, it means but, or however. It doesn't reject what he just said, that everybody's trying to increase happiness and alleviate suffering. He says it elevates it. He says actually happiness and freedom from suffering are important because those are real human aims. What a preacher. Those are real human aims. He approaches people at whatever level they may be. And the state of Priti for Bhagwan, love for Lord Krishna, is precisely where that aim reaches Atyantika, the pinnacle, the ultimate end, the destination. So he's not negating that happiness and distress are worthwhile endeavors. He's elevating. He's saying, you're already seeking the right things. A better job, a better home, etc., etc. Both are important. But what is being delivered? He's saying sukhitam, dukkha, nirvatam, cha atyantikam. Both the experience of happiness and the elimination of suffering reach the atyantika form. Shri Nitai Sacinandana. I promise to end soon. Jai Shri Nitai Sacinandana Dev ki Jai, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Dev Bhagwan ki Jai. They achieve their pinnacle when they get to the atyantika form. It means that position which is inexhaustible. No reversals. Happiness that does not fade. Cessation of suffering that does not return. Srimurti Seva is not a religious duty performed along an ordinary human life. It is a place where human life receives in the absolute form what it was actually seeking. Bhagavat Priti. Why? Because in material happiness, there are certain qualities. Material happiness has a beginning. It arises moment when our sense captures an object, the food, the beautiful sight, hearing some nice music. And Gita itself says happiness has a beginning and an end. Whatever arises must, by the same logic, must decline. Second, material happiness has an end. When the sense contact ends, when the food is eaten, when the music stops, when the satisfaction occurs, when separation occurs, or the body ages, the happiness ends with it. There's no exception to this. Every happiness any of us have had in this world or will have will end. I'm sorry. Not because the happiness was fake, it was real, but because the conditions delivering it could not hold. Finally, the material happiness is not self-sufficient. It cannot reproduce itself. It depends on external conditions. The presence of a sense object, a sense organ that functions. If I lose vision, how am I going to see something? If I lose hearing, silence. Can't hear any music. If my mind, if I have a stroke, then where's the idea of desire? Break any link and that happiness disappears. But Bhagwan, by his nature, is Satchidananda. He is eternal. He's conscious. he's blissfully happy. His Anand Swarup, it's his very form. Rasa Vaisaha, he's Rasa himself. When the devotee makes contact with Bhagavan through bhakti, then priti for him grows. What is being touched is not just a sense contact, it's the source of bliss itself. When a Prajari bathes a deity, it's not just a sense part. It doesn't depend on pre-existing contingent conditions, because Bhagavan is self-sufficient. He's the source from which all other conditions depend. Not because it's a larger material happiness, not because it's more refined, though it is, but because it's of different nature. It is direct contact with the source of happiness, rather than a shadow of that happiness. Think of a promotion you received. It gave you thrills and joy. And then it quietly became our baseline. Right? The salary that we celebrated because it became the salary we took for granted. The delicious meal that we delighted upon an hour ago became a memory, fading memory that tomorrow when you ask somebody, what did you have? I don't remember. None of these were bad. They gave happiness, but none of them stayed. They had a beginning and an end. Exactly as these three failures predict. Now contrast that with devotional happiness. I'll give you some examples. Think of a morning when you saw a picture of a deity and it was exceptionally he was exceptionally beautiful. Perhaps the dress was amazing. Or you simply saw him for the first time with your real inner eyes. That memory, notice what it does. It doesn't go away, right? You can remember it. It doesn't fade. If anything, it becomes deeper. 10 years later, you can remember that. Devotional pleasures increase upon repetition. They don't decrease. I think I'll end with this because it's getting very late. So Bhagavatam gives two wonderful examples of Bhagavad Priti. Shri Uddhav and the gopis. So after Shri Krishna left Vrindavan, he asked Shri Uddhav to go to console the gopis in their separation. Uddhav was a great soul, a great knowledgeable yogi, in fact. He came to teach these girls how to overcome their suffering through philosophy. But when he saw them, their tears, their constant suffering, their remembrance of Sri Krishna, their refusal to be uplifted by anything he said, Uddhav himself was transformed. He realized that what he assumed was their suffering, their dukkha, was actually their great wealth. Their separation from Krishna was so separated, so saturated with love, that it was sweeter than anything worldly pleasure could give. And the proof was he wished he could become a blade of grass in Vrindavan. The gopis' suffering was a form of love so intense that the greatest yogi of that time, Uddhav, wanted to trade places with them. So Sukha and Dukkha have been changed. Another example, Bhishma Dev, lying on his bed of arrows, externally terrible suffering, poked in every place of the body with arrows. Internally, supremely Sukha, because Sri Krishna is standing there right before him. He's looking with the eyes of love towards Sri Krishna. Both realities, material suffering and spiritual happiness, happening same time. But Bhishma Dev's prayers don't speak of pain. They speak of the beauty of Sri Krishna's face, the gentle curve of his smile and his lips. The arrows could not reach what was inside him, because what was inside him was in contact with the actual source of bliss. Yeah. So we're thinking Uddhav is there, Bhishma is there, I'm here. But actually, this supreme zenith state, the Atyantika, sounds beautiful, and it's far from where I am. I'm just a beginner. I've just heard a lecture. The deity has not revealed himself to me. The worldly pleasures still attract me, pull me. Priti, Bhagavad Priti is far away from me. But that's not true, actually. Not true. Each act amongst those 5, sadhu sangha, listening to Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, offering deity with loving gratefulness and pleasure for the Lord, residing in a sacred place, each act with a wish that Krishna be pleased is not preparation for some future arising of bhakti. It is the actual termination of anadi avidya, beginningless ignorance. That awareness of Bhagwan, Sevan Unmukha, has arisen. We're not at the beginning of the road looking at some distant destination. We're already on the road. Bhakti itself is growing under Bhagwan's care. So I think that's the fire alarm probably going off. Hopefully we won't have sprinklers. Shri Shri Nitai Sacinandana Dev Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Forgive me for going so long. The point is we have to have proper conception when we approach items of bhakti and when we approach Bhagwan. That's so important. If we get that wrong, everything is basically an external act. It is not the birthplace of bhav. It's not swa-alpa sambandha bhavajan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I didn't get a chance to finish, but it's way too long. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Nitai Sacinandana Dev ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Dev Bhagwan ki jai. Now we can all stretch our legs and engage in that most blissful activity, Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. You're happy too. Cool.
Very nice class. Thank you.
I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I tried.
Very nice. Thank you.
Was it understandable?
Oh, yeah, thank you for the wonderful class.
Did it make sense?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Who's singing? You want to sing? Huh?
Don't ask me anything.
You should be singing.
That's I don't know. I don't know. Do you want sitting or standing? Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashatya Desatarine.
Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavada Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
We're gonna do Bengali style, split it in half. Can you help me?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant as loud as you can. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I can't hear you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Jaya Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Jaya Gaura Hare, Jaya Gaura Hare. Jaya Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare. Jaya Gaura Hare, Gaura Hare. Nitai Sacinandana Gaura Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Let's everybody sit down, please. We're getting ready for the flower abhishek. And Madhavi Prabhu, you can say the Prema Davani prayers. I'm going to remove this from here. Everybody please sit down, because otherwise there's nowhere to see the flower abhishek, okay? Please sit. Vedavati Mataji, you can go this way. Mataji, you can go this way. Okay. For your own safety, I ask everybody to sit down, please. Thank you. And then we can continue a kirtan while we're sitting. So does anybody want a harmonium, or I don't know, is it going to occupy too much space? Okay. Haribol.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतक हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतक हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर महाराज की नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट जय ओम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु वर्ग की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई जमुना माई की तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की कलियुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Shri Pushyabhishek ki. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.
So this is the moment all of you have been waiting for. Loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Okay, so they're just getting ready to do the flower abhishek. Somebody's figured out about saran wrap, how to make it spiritual. So we'll first have the Srila Prabhupada disciples come and start, the process, and then other devotees, the pujaris will come and do the flower abhishek. And everybody should remain sitting. That way you can take photos. People can take videos. Sharani Mataji is taking photos for our website. So, and then everything has to be accompanied by chanting the holy name. So that's what we're going to have. Thank you.
श्री श्री निताई सचिनंदन देव भगवान की Should we start with Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Everyone sing, please. Everyone sing. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, sing, 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 Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, continue. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna just take the turn Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Voice God, voice God. My voice is God.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Praise Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste Narasimhaya, Prahlad-Daine, Hiranyakashipu-Vakshaha, Shrilatankanakalaye, Ito nasima parata nasima, Ito nasima parata nasima, Yato yato yamitato nasimo, Bahe Narsimo, Hirdaye Nasimo, Bahe Narsimo, Hirdaye Nasimo, Narasimha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Tavakara Kamalavare, Nakamadbhuta Shringam, Dalita Hiranyakashipu, Tanu Bringam, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Savadrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jagadish Hare. Oh Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish, Jaya Jagadish Hare. Jaya Narsimadev, 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 Jaya Narsimadev.
Are we supposed to end now?
What?
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Don't end, just keep doing it.
What?
Don't end. Yeah, but don't end. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribol, everyone, please sit down. Can you please sit down? Thank you very much. Please sit. Please sit.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If everyone can please sit down. Matajis, please sit. There's no room in the Prasadam hall for anybody else. We had a flood of devotees going there, but shortly, in the relative speaking, you will have a chance to have Prasadam. So just want to make some quick announcements. And sorry to interrupt the Kirtan, Anirudh Prabhu. So please pay kind attention. Damodar Krishna Prabhu? Okay, now. The flowers should not go back onto the altar because Bhagwan's prasadam should not go back towards Bhagwan. Okay? Thank you. So just Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. I know you're all excited, and it's really nice to see how enthusiastic everyone is. You can do this at home too. We'll all come over. Okay. So anybody here for the very first time? I don't see anybody here for. You're pointing at somebody, but the Mataji going? Is she here for the first time? What's your name? Svetlana. And where are you from? Here in Hillsborough, or where do you live? Clackamas? Well, you came with family, right? I think I saw somebody with you. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming. Please come again. Hare Krishna. Oh. Anyone else here for the very first time? I don't know why I have two mics here. Who? Mataji. What's your name? Anuradha or Anuraga? Anuradha. Anurag is a level of bhav that's experienced by the Brajvasis. Very nice. Anuradha Mataji. Where are you from? You came all the way from Portland? Where in Portland do you live? Bethany? Okay. I don't view that as Portland. That's where 95% are here. But I'm happy you came. First time? By yourself or with family? Okay. Thank you. Please keep coming again, okay? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Happy birthday and happy anniversary. May Shishi Nitai Sacinandana, Shishi Lakshmi Narasimhadev bless you with a wonderful Krishna conscious life of experiencing love and sharing love. Hare Krishna. Next. This is a very important slide. If I can have your kind attention. So, we all had great fun. Nilambar, not right now. We all had great fun. Sorry, don't mean to pick on you, but we all had great fun watching Abhishek and then sharing the prasadam of the flowers with each other. But this is the material world, and so such things to manifest require Lakshmi. So we want to thank all of our sponsors. Bhoga sponsorship by Raghavan Prabhu, Vijay Mataji, Akshara, and then Jagan Kanaka Prabhu and Dharini Mataji, Rohit Prabhu, Padmavati Mataji, and Adya Shri, Anand Vrindavan Mataji, Anupam Prabhu and Karobi Mataji. They sponsored Bhoga for today. Flower sponsorships by Rahul Prabhu, Deepika Mataji and Ram, Matabi Ram Prabhu and Amita Mataji, and Hasani and Anju Kataruka Mataji and others. Anonymous deity dress sponsor. We pray that they receive the bliss of Krishna consciousness. The floral skirts were sponsored by Harsh Prabhu, Ashish Prabhu, Rita Mataji, and Vivek Prabhu. And the floral pants were sponsored by Arpana, Rohit Prabhu, and Kavita Mataji. And the floral garland sponsors were Vishnu Shukla Prabhu. Anklet sponsors was Ashish Prabhu, Avanti Mataji, Damodar Krishna Prabhu, and Swapna Mataji. Bracelet sponsors were Chaitanya Priya Mataji, Vedavati Mataji, and Mahesh Prabhu. So basically, please complete your pledge. And are they going to get their items today or when? So you can pick up the things that you sponsored, whether it's bracelet or skirt or whatever, tomorrow, because the pujaris, right now they can't change them, right, obviously. So tomorrow, if you can't come tomorrow, ask the pujaris to hold it for you. Okay, next slide. Okay, now we had, the goal was to get 216 bouquets, right? And you guys all topped it by having 244 bouquets sponsored and pledged. So there you go. So one humble request is please fulfill your commitment. If you've sponsored, then make the pledge, because Costco and all these places, floral shops, they require funds. Can't just do it, virtually. So Vivek and Anita Mataji went all out, 25 bouquets. Vivek Prabhu, thank you very much. And then Narendra Prabhu and family, are they here? They might be up in the Prasadam hall. They sponsored 15. Our family sponsored 11. Mother Mataji's family 11. Kirtida Mataji's family 11. Madhavai Prabhu 10. Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu 10. Quite a few devotees in the 5 to 9 bouquets, and lots of you in 1 to 4 bouquets. The act of doing this is bhakti. And whether it's one bouquet, one petal, one flower, or thousands, it's between you and the Lord. Thank you for doing it. And please complete your fulfillment of the pledge. Okay? Hare Krishna. Today's Sunday feast, or next week's, is Shashank Prabhu and Ishita Mataji and Hirti. And then subsequent Sarup Prabhu. Okay, we'll keep going. We have the visit of His Holiness Raghupad Swami Maharaj coming up, not this coming week, but subsequent week. So you can see Maharaj is here from June 23rd to June 29th. And we need all the hosting for home programs is settled, except one just opened up on June 24th. It's a Wednesday. If you have a desire to host a program at your home, it'll be very nice. It'll be Krishna Katha. Since you're the host, you determine the seating for guests and prasadam also. So it's a nice, comfortable event, and you can go to other devotees' home. We'll send out WhatsApp, email, or message about this. Okay, next. And then His Grace Gaura Sundar Prabhu is going to come, and he'll be up in the Vancouver area, Camas area, etc., with Vlad Prabhu. he will be coming here for a Sunday feast lecture on the 21st, which is Sunday feast. Okay? And then after that, His Holiness Prabhupada Swami Maharaj. And then after that, Kanai, His Grace Kanai Thakur Prabhu, just for one day, Sunday, July 5th. And then His Grace Harivamsh Prabhu from July 6th to July 12th. Okay? Haribol, so Temple Gift Shop has a special booth today in the temple hallway. Anu Mataji told me about some special discounts. So there's lots of wonderful things that you can obtain. Please come and obtain. Okay? Okay. Where's the book? Can I have the book? So we have a new book. Devotees need big bookshelves. So this one is called Gita. Of course, there's an acronym because Dr. Madhav Prabhu handed it to me. Gita illustrations through analogies. How's that for Dr. Madhav Prabhu? So this is part 1, and it's produced by a very nice devotee family, Ishwar Gauranga Prabhu and Sriji Priya Mataji down in Phoenix. They're very instrumental in trying to spread Krishna consciousness. And I haven't had a chance to look at it, but people that I trust have told me that it's very good in quality. The suggested donation is $20. Is that correct? $20? And how many? We just have 20 copies. So anybody interested in this book, let us know. You're interested? I see 2 hands. Anybody else interested? Anyone else? Going over. You? 3? Anyone else? 4? Okay. Well, my job is not to distribute this, but I think Paramakana Prabhu, you're going to be overseeing this part. So first come, first serve is how it works. So please see Prabhu for your copy, okay? Okay. Next. Shri Pradha Mataji, I think she may have gone up to the Prasadam hall because we're running late. Prasadam prayers. Who wants to chant Prasadam prayers? Vivek Prabhu, you want to chant Prasadam? Oh, one announcement. Now, we're waiting for Prasadam, right? But if I could humbly suggest, one person cannot collect all these flowers. If everybody, as soon as Prasadam prayers are, you're all having to wait anyways. Some devotees will chant, but if everybody else can, if all of you just clean up the area around it, gather into one big pile, and can I have 2 devotees that will oversee the process? Or 3 devotees? Nitai Jagdish Prabhu, Vishnu Prabhu. You're a little young, you want to do that? Prabhu, you want to? Rohit Prabhu, and so I think we have 4. So, so Nitai Jagdish Prabhu, I think eventually brooms and probably garbage bags. And they're definitely prasadam. You can definitely take a bunch with you to home, because they've come off from the altar. So you can do that too. Okay? So after prasadam prayers, humbly ask devotees to step up and try to clean up this place. Okay? We'll let all of you know when that group is done. We usually give about 25 minutes, but it'll be soon. Very Prabhu.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmane Vaishnave Salpa Punyavatan Rajan Vishwaso Naiva Jayate Sharira Vidyajar Jodendriya Tahe Kal Jive Fele Vishaya Sagare Dharmade Jivayati Lobha Moisu Dharmati Take Cheta Katina Sansare Krishna Bada Dayamoy Gari Bare Jiva Jai Swa Prasadana Dilo Bhai Sayana Amrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भगवत महाप्रसादम की नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी पश्यत्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण हरे